Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakadash.
The honors of the apostles and the elders of GMS, Shalom to the elect. The GMS New York City camp out here on another Saturday. Prophesy the downfall of Babylon, which is America, as we know it, scriptures, and also free bullshit, man. You know, so we're going to jump right into the scripture.
This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Right. Concerning the conversation. And when you look into that word conversation, that means conduct. So, you know, we're supposed to be putting, once you get this word, you know, you're supposed to be putting off that old conduct of the old man. Which is what? Which is going off. Just out here doing as you will, you know what I'm saying? Being wicked niggas, for the most part, you know? Whether that, you know, coming back to the Lord's statutes and commandments, you gotta put up those old ways, you know, being a cutthroat nigga, not showing brotherly love, you know, worshiping mammon, things of that nature, man. You put that off, man, because that's gonna lead to your destruction. Continue.
It reads, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Right, be renewed. So now you gotta be, you basically becoming a new man, you put on that new body, because now you know better. You know what I'm saying? Now you know what's expected of you. You know what is pleasing to the Lord. And then you do that to the best of your ability.
It reads, and I got a quick piece of this is and that ye put on the new man, which after thy power is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Right, exactly. Put on that new man, you know. After the Lord, and then after the Lord gives you the spirit, you know what's going on. You get the you get the correct teaching. That's when you put on that new man, and just put off that old man, which is always going to creep upon you. That's why this thing is a daily battle. Right? You know, you don't just get this truth. You know the Lord's statutes, commandments, and He's good. No, that's when the fight really begins. Because if you know that, like the scriptures say, paraphrasing it, prepare when you walk with the Lord, prepare ourselves for temptation. That's when the battle really starts, man. Because when you just in the world, don't you realize when you just going off, everything go right for you? You ain't really worried about nothing. Yeah, everybody got their afflictions, but for the most part, shit is just going smooth. But when you decide to actually come into the truth, try to please the Lord, put up the old ways, that's when the demons is on you. All angry.
This is James chapter 1, verse 21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. You know, it's like the brother is saying, you gotta, put away, that filthiness, that superfluity. When you go into the word superfluity, it goes into the residue. You know, the remainers of the wickedness that, we once was in the world. We have to put that off. And be renewed in our mind by what? This truth, by the word. Because His word, it brings light. Everything in the world was darkness. That's the wickedness. So we have to lay forth a part of that. Depart of that, and come more into this truth, man. Focus more on Yahweh Shah, man. Because we got the truth, like the brother was saying. We got the instructions. All right? We have the answers to receive salvation. So we have to continue to what? Walk in the spirit, man. And not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay? That was it.
This is Colossians 3 and 9. It says, lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of Him that created him. Yeah, so we put off that old man like the brother is going into. The old man is the way that we was before we came to Yahweh Shah. So when we came to Yahweh Shah, we became that new man, right? The new knowledge. Knowledge what? The knowledge of how about Yahweh Shah. We're supposed to put on righteousness. I got something up for you. 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. Therefore, if any man be in Mashiach, he is a new creature. All things will pass away. Behold, all things become new.
Right, like I said, new creature, man. So that's what I said. It's all about being renewed, man. It's all about shedding that skin, man. Shedding that old man off, man, and wicked ways. Coming back to the Lord, man. A new creature. You gotta be learned. One thing is like when you come into the truth, you are like a baby again, man. You have to basically understand that everything you learned in the world was bugged out, man. It was a lie. So now you gotta put that off and you become humble. I thought one of the main things was being humble, man. Understanding Because when you're in this truth, the more you learn, the more you realize what you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta come in as a new creature, man, total new babe. Desire the sincere milk. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have been a smart, one of the educated brothers in the world, but now when you come into the truth, you want to jump deep. Now you feel me? That could be a downfall. You gotta desire the sincere milk things of a babe, man.
Right. Like the scripture speak about how Yahweh Shah died. So that's just like us. We died also. Our old man perished, was crucified. But we risen as new creatures, right? Like the prophet, we died and we were reborn as newborn babes, fresh in the truth, learning this knowledge, and we grow as new creatures, as new age men.
I got the that second, y'all bringing it out.
Right.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2. I'm going to start from the top. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Right, newborn babes, because you're coming into this thing as babies, so you desire the sincere milk. What is the sincere milk? That's the, I don't want to, the simple things, right? But honestly, those simple things to us is not simple to a regular Jake in the world. You know, the understanding that you're an Israelite, understanding the names of the Lord, the description of the Lord, things of that nature. Understanding not to go off on the Sabbath, what's expected of you, and then as you grow, just like a baby, you can't feed a baby steak, so you don't want to really get into too deep of who's this guy, who's that, who's in the reincarnation, this and the third. That's later down the line. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the basics, man, the foundation, the things that are required for your salvation.
That's right, first and foremost. That's right, that's right. Because brothers started trying to get extra deep, you know what I'm saying? Asking, super deep questions. You gotta start with the basics, man. Because honestly, the basics is gonna make you receive that salvation, man.
Right.
Knowing the prophecies, knowing the prophecies, man. Because brothers try to get, super deep, get into Daniel's 11, and there's nothing wrong with getting to the different scriptures, but they just, when you first come in, it's too hype, too happy. You gotta just, take your time with this truth, man. It's a marathon, not a race.
Add on, you gotta understand that's an increase that's given by the Lord. That may not be your life. You may not just be that deep brother, but you may have a lot of faith. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures speak about the different talents. So you may see one brother and he's a studious brother. It's not, you gotta be studious, but he may be like a research expert and know what I mean? But that might not be for you. You might be the brother that when shit hit the fan, brothers looking at you like, nah, that brother's still keeping his faith, he's still pushing. You know what I'm saying? With whatever measure that he has. So you gotta just deal with what you got, Play the cards you dealt. That's how they say it in the world. You know what I'm saying?
I got what you want. This is all you may start from time here. This is Psalm chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Right. Who's the ungodly, man? That would be those people that don't believe in the Lord. The 2/3 of our people, for the most part, along with, the wicked, but speaking about Israel, the 2/3 of our people, man, they the ungodly, man. So them niggas that we was chilling with before when we was the old man, like we was getting into, niggas ganging, niggas smoking weed, trapping, niggas robbing niggas, it's a plethora of things. I ain't trying to, I'm not trying to like put that on a pedestal, but that's what those men are. That's what they are. We're not working with them, man. When you come into the truth, you gotta separate, man, because those spirits that's on them could jump back on you, man. So now that you know better, you do better.
Right. It reads, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Right, the scornful. Who that? That's some cats that go online and they got some shit to say. Right. The scriptures paraphrasing, it says, a fool is considered wise when he shut up his lips. Sometimes these cats don't know how to be quiet. They just want to always say something. Nah, them niggas is bugging, or yeah, but what they bread looking like, yeah, them niggas is wrong. Just a whole bunch of nonsense, man. But we not sitting in them seats, man. We come in trying to please the Lord, man. Humble, meek, trying to learn, just trying to offend less, man. We're not here trying to be bigger than anybody else, man. We're trying to do the right thing and get saved. Because at the end of the day, this is a blessing, and we understand that.
It reads, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night.
Okay.
Proverbs 4:14. Enter not into the path of the wicked,
Right.
and go not in the way of evil men.
Right.
Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away.
Right. So like the scripture just said, it said, enter not in the path of the wicked and go not in the way. So when we see those men, you know, we go in the opposite way, man. For the most part, spiritually, we go in the opposite way. Like, you know, you can't control. Like, you might work with 2/3, like, you might live around them in your neighborhood, but ultimately, when we see them, man, we're not going in the path. We're not really about to go chill outside, see niggas on the corner. Now we chilling with them. We trying to see what we getting into tonight. You know, we're not being equally yoked with unbelievers. We're not getting into that. We're running away from them. We're bringing out still though. You know, I was just paraphrasing it. Now you finished. That was basically it. And it says run away. You know, so actually you gotta be pushing that off, man. Because like I said, them spirits that's on them men could jump on you, man. You know, and being renewed, you don't want that. You don't want to fall back into the world. That's one of the worst things to do, man. You see a brother that was pushing, and now you see him back in the world, bugged out, smoking again. That shit is a sad sight, man.
I got it. Go ahead. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
Right, what fellowship, right? What fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? Right, so what do I really got in common with a nigga that's out here trying to trap? Or a nigga that's out here that don't got no brotherly love, but I don't believe and don't acknowledge the Lord as Yahweh shouldn't have a shot. What do I really got in, what do we got in common? Nothing. I'm not on your path. I'm not trying to earn. I'm not going for that uncorruptible crime. No, for that corruptible crime. We're not going for that, man. We're trying to please the Lord. Y'all trying to please men. So ultimately, we ain't on the same path. You know?
It reads, "In what communion have light with darkness?"
Is that what communion?
Con.
Right, but yeah, light with darkness, like, you know, niggas is evil, man. Like, these wicked men, man. Niggas don't consider at all. They don't consider what they doing. They don't consider who they offended. They don't even got debate. The scriptures say, if it's possible, be at peace with all men. These niggas going static. These niggas is looking for blood. They basically wolves. Right? Sheep and wolves ain't gonna be the, I mean, because like the scripture said, they compare it to the sheep, be the Lord's sheep. These niggas is wolves, man. They looking for blood.
The word for communion, it goes into fellowship, association,
Right.
community, communion,
Right.
joint, participation,
Right.
intercourse. The share which one has in anything participation.
Right, participation. Being joint with y'all. No, I'm not connected. You're not connected. I'm not ganging. We're not in the same thing. You're going for totally two different things, man. Opposite. You basically total opposite. These niggas in the world, they might be judged to die. We, you know, through the spirit, got this truth, and we trying to our best of our ability to endure unto the end, to be crowned. You know?
Say birds of a feather flock together.
Right, yeah, exactly. Birds of a feather flock together, man. And so, and that you gotta understand, and we ambassadors of the Yahweh Shemi Hawashah, so we can't be getting involved, because now you gotta understand, if I running around with a 2/3 nigga, he get caught up in the car with a gun. The first thing gonna say is, well, that's the son that be doing the videos and all that. That nigga running around here with guns and shit. You know, bro, you guys see, you always gotta think.
Being that you said that, let me bring this up. Oh, you done?
Man, I'm done, brother.
Okay. This is I can speak on that. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3. It says, "For in time past of our life may suffice us to walk the will of the Gentiles when we walk in lasciviousness lust, excess of wine, reveling, banqueting, and abominable idols." Yeah, that's who the Gentiles, you know, which is our people. Okay, but just like how we were back in the world, we was in that Gentile state of mind, like these 2/3 now. Okay, and we did the same things that they did: walking lasciviousness, excess lust, reveling, partying and bullshitting. You know, just living in the world. It says, verse 4, "Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you." Yeah, so now that we're new men, new creatures in the faith, okay, we put up that old man, and you know, the same dudes that loved us when we was in the world, now we don't do these things no more, man. I don't party, yo, what? You know what I'm son, no, he don't party no more, he don't hang out with us no more. Man, this nigga all on that Bible shit.
Right.
You know? You ain't the same no more, man. We was out here chasing bitches, hitting up clubs and all that. You on that, he on that Bible shit, you know. They speak evil of us, man. They hate us now. You know, that we're righteous men. And yeah, in their spirit, like they won't probably show it physically, but you know, it's in their spirit, man. You know, it ain't the same no more. That connection, you know. And that's their wicked spirit, contrary to our righteous spirit, you know.
I was gonna add on that, you know, they saying that misery loves company, and ultimately these niggas is sad, man. Cause even they should say these niggas is immature. They don't want to grow up in general. That's why you feel me. Even a man that he ain't even coming to the truth, but he just trying to get his shit together and be a real man. You going to see some strife between men that you used to deal with. Every time you try to like help better yourself, it's always gonna be somebody trying to pull you back down. It's like crab in a barrel mentality that Jake goes. That's a part of the churches, man.
Okay, you got it.
This is Psalm chapter 139, verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Right, you know, that's who we count the 2/3 as, our enemies. Why? Because they hate the Lord, man. They despise the Lord's laws. All right, they despise Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right, so what? We count these 2/3 and these non-believers as our enemies, man. That's the spirit we're supposed to be walking in, man. You know, because any given day, these same people turn against you, man. You know?
It's Jeremiah 7:16. It says, therefore pray not thou for these people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them.
Right, we're not going to be praying for these people, man. All right, the people who come, you know, blatantly break the law, statutes, and commandments, committing adultery, all right, smoking their weed, being homosexuals, all right, the LGBT, all right, the alphabet community. We don't pray for those people, man. All right, we actually pray for them to die, man. All right, you know, because they're a walking abomination, man, to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, man. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. It says, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. So
Right.
here the Lord is saying, like, look, man, don't pray for these men. You know, because like, you know, especially Jake, we got that spirit and we love our families. You know, even though these niggas is bugged out, we still love them. So we might, you know, we pray, you know, we have to throw a prayer for them. Like, the Lord, you know, you can watch over my family too, pray for the brother, you know, for your brother. But ultimately, if he's against the Lord is basically telling you, listen, now, don't make an intercession for me. I'm not gonna hear you, man. His lot is his lot, man. If he don't get it, you gotta be thankful that it ain't yours. It ain't your life. Ultimately, that's why this is with fear and trembling, man. Work out your own salvation, right? Because at the end of the day, you can't save another man, family or not. You know.
Proverbs 21, verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Right, and what's that understanding? That's the Lord, statutes, and commandments. That's what's in the scriptures, you know, the understanding. And so if you falling out of this, man, you're gonna be back in with the 2/3 the rest of these dead niggas, man, because they spiritually dead. You know, and ultimately they doomed to really be dead. Because at the end, if you don't trust in the Lord and you ain't coming back, then He's not gonna save you, man. He's not gonna be with you.
Oh yeah. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 3. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right, and that incredulity meaning that unbelief, man. So, you know, like, you feel me, they don't matter, man, if you believe or not. You know, like the scriptures say, just because they don't believe it, I mean it's not true. You're paraphrasing it. But yeah, and also when you look into that word incredulity, it's because they can't believe. It's like it's unbelief, but it's also because they can't believe because the Lord got men blinded. Everybody's not gonna get this truth. The truth is not for everybody. You know, when you read the scriptures, you speak about, you know, you got that spirit of sleep on them, man. They got the heavy ears and the eyes they can't see. You know, because it's not for them.
I got a quick one to back you up. This is Romans chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of thy power without effect?
Right? Yeah, so just because you feel me, just because you say something or you don't believe what we're saying, does that mean that it ain't gonna come to pass? No, it's still gonna happen regardless, whether you believe that Babylon, which is America, is going to be destroyed, whether you believe it or not, it's still going to happen, man. Whether you believe that men is going to be beamed up in chariots, whether you believe that or not, that's on you. It's still going to happen, though. You know?
And this going back to that statement you said, you know, like hanging out with a nigga in the world, you know, you obviously with him, you got a gun in the car. And
Right.
So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 8 verse 15. It says, travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee, for he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly.
Right.
And you got there's a lot of examples like that, man. That you coming out of the world, you're in the truth. And you know, you might be walking up the street, you know, a nigga from the world that you grew up with, and all this nigga, and this nigga just a goddamn menace, man. Always beefing, shooting at people, you know, this, that. And you know, you run across the street, yeah, what's up, yo, come here real quick, yo, man, you gotta make something up real quick, man. You know what? Nah, man. You know, I gotta do something real quick. I'm late for work or whatever. So now you go with this nigga, you walk with him, and somebody you see him that got beat, you know. And, you know, they run up on him, he pull out, you know, start shooting. You get caught up in his madness now, but just walking off with this nigga.
It's like in the spirit, that really, really happened to you before. Like what it said about holding up.
It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 8 verse 15. It says, traveling not by the way with a bold fellow.
Right. So look, so I was at this is a quick one. This is when I heard about this. I wasn't even pushing, but you know, you hear about it and you start to, you come around. I'm going to a party with a bold fella. We can get into a whole altercation, you can get stabbed up and all that through the spirit of the Lord. It was like 30 minutes. I lie to you not, these niggas just ran right by me. But I'm like, it was over, bro. It was over. I'm just like, and but when we first got in the car, I'm looking at my man. I'm like, I'm speaking to him like, I'm like, why you doing this, man? You already know what time it is, bro. He's a high head. Something's gonna happen. And little you know, something happened, bro. And that could have been our ad. But the Lord had it to where only he got stabbed up and all that, but it was only him though. They ain't had nothing to do with none of us. So I was like, man, that's crazy, but that's the scriptures. The scriptures speak. That's you know, it may seem to somebody else like that's far-fetched, man, but it really be happening. Where we from, shit, everything go down, man. Jake is over a while.
Yeah, very word. Certain Jakes I see in the hood, man. If I see them from afar, I'll cross the street for them. I'll put it on. So a lot of times you put my mask on just so I don't
Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Hey, that's the worst thing. I hate that shit, man. Walking up the street and running into somebody you know. And then certain people, man, you don't really want to be sitting on the corner talking to them, you know. But anybody can just pull up. They always got beef. They blood, beefing with this person, that person. I just try to stay away from them, man.
That's called using wisdom, because niggas, 2/3 will be like, oh, that's pussy. That's just being smart, man. Smart. You got work, you got responsibilities. You just trying to stay alive. You ain't about to be up in here chilling with niggas that got death on their menu. Niggas is begging for death. They just looking for it. They don't got nothing to live for. That's why. They don't have a purpose. So they just out here just winging it. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
So again, it says Ecclesiasticus 8:15. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee. For he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him or his father. Yeah, got a lot of people who die like that by just being around ministers, goddamn ministers to society. You know? And you get caught up in his madness.
A lot of our people, they're so finito, like so American, old fellows, what it is they don't have no rule over their spirit, man.
Right.
You know, easily offended and whatnot, man. So of course they're always into altercation. You can say, Tom Bird turn away rap, right? So first, turn away rap, man. These are things you learn. You don't learn these things in the world, right?
Yeah, I got some. Okay, this is I got two. Add on. Okay, so this You got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna add on. That's how Jake lose their job too. You know, your boss, he speak to you, I mean, in a way that may, I mean, it may cut you a little bit, or it may, like, you know what I mean, get you, whatever, riled up, but you gotta use, it's up to you to use wisdom and know how to handle that situation, because ultimately, you got your own bills you gotta pay, you gotta provide for yourself, you know? Of course, the Lord's gonna provide for you, but sometimes the Lord will put you in a situation to see, like, yo, are you gonna apply the scriptures? Are you gonna think about it, or are you just gonna automatically just go crazy?
Right.
From you know you got responsibilities, your boss tell you some shit. You might curse, you know, we men, you might be like, why the fuck you late? You automatically like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. We men, but it's like, you know what? Let me look at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Because now if I tell this guy off, you know, if I tell this small hat off, now I'm out of a job. Now, what that's a trickling down effect. Because now, you know, if you got a woman, they're not hearing that. You got a kid, that shit not gonna feed the kid. You're not gonna feed yourself. Your landlord's not hearing it. So you gotta say it's like a domino effect. So you always gotta be thinking. You always gotta think. Like be circumspect. 360, you gotta look all around you. How is this gonna affect anything? You know what I mean?
Okay. This is Proverbs 16 and 32. It says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh deceit." Yeah, because a mighty man, you know, usually mighty men, they don't have rule over their own spirit, like the brother was saying. Old guys, that, you know, they big and strong, and what's the thing? Others fear him. You know, he can control others, but he can't control himself. Okay, and that's what be their downfall. You know, cause they other people can be scared of him. He can rule other people, but himself he can't rule. Right. And that mighty man's downfall will be his own self, man. Why? Because he don't have rule over his spirit. But someone who has rule over his spirit is better than a mighty man who can rule others, but not himself.
Right. Ultimately, it's about wisdom, man. You gotta be able to think, man. You know, in pressure situations, you can't always just react. You gotta think. Like this, like you gotta think about pressure. Think about, is there a better way to get out of this? You know, and that comes down to being patient, man.
Right. Hey, okay. Yeah, even in boxing, man. You know what they say that it's not about your strength or your hands. It's about you win with this, your mind, man. Right. You gotta use wisdom even in a fight, man. You can't just go in there angry and think you're gonna win a fight. I'm angry, I'm strong, I'm big. Nah, you gotta use your mind because boxing is a mind game. You gotta use your mind and strategy. Okay? It's not really all about the strength.
Add on real quick. In boxing, they say what? They say like, yo, everybody got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth. Yeah. So now you get punched in your mouth, just like, and you can compare that to the truth. You know, everybody say, yeah, I'm gonna walk with the Lord until something go down. You get punched in the mouth in boxing, you throw the game plan away and just bug out. The same thing that happened in the world. You lose your job, you lose your crib. Do you now just say fuck it and you go back to the streets, or do you trust in the Lord? Do you trust in the game plan? We understand that this is about patience. Right? The scriptures constantly talk about endurance. You know, long suffering, patience. These are things that you gotta apply in the world and in the spirit. So,
This is Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28. He that had no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
you got it.
Yeah, that's right, man. So we're going into the point of ruling your spirit, man. And if you don't rule your spirit, man, hey, you're gonna be in a state of danger, man. You don't have no protection for yourself, man. You can't just be spazzing out any type of way. As a matter of fact, you use a boxing analogy. A lot of times in boxing, the boxers got emotional and start trading and shit,
Yeah.
and that's when your ass get knocked out, man. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what's going on, you gotta continue with your game plan. You know what I'm saying? You don't just spaz out. You know? So that's it.
So I'll go back to 6, Ecclesiastes chapter 8, I'll read verse 16. It says, "Strive not with an angry man, and go not with them into a solitary place. For blood is nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow you." Yeah, so even so hey man, we righteous men that's walking the streets amongst these goddamn beasts, man. These niggas are nothing but beasts. Okay? They're sheep among the wolves. You know, so we gotta conduct ourselves wisely, man. You know, you might see a nigga, you know, I might lock eyes, you know, like as soon as you look at nigga and yo, what the fuck you looking at? Yo, you just ignore him, man. You know, just ignore him. You don't even gotta go back and forth with him. Okay? And try to, prove that you ain't pussy or tough. Hey, and especially a mighty man, a nigga that that ain't got no boundaries, man. That blood is nothing to him. Because what? You go back and forth with him. Yo, come on, so let's go over here. Let's go in this alley. Say go now with to a solitary place. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it on in this alleyway. Because what? We're gonna try to kill you there, and leave your body there. Right. So you gotta use wisdom, man. Don't even get into it with these niggas, man. It ain't working.
Except for that, Evo on Friday. Yeah. They took that dude's bike.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't have went that motherfucker. Why you doing that shit with your bike?
Oh shit, man. I got another piece of it.
And you smacked him over the side of the street.
Yeah. Watch this. Ecclesiastes 8:12. It says, lend not unto him that is mightier than thyself. For if thou lendest him, it's Debo. He was big enough. He was bigger, strong enough. So it says, lend not unto him that is mightier than thyself. For if thou lendest him, count it for loss. Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Right. That's Ecclesiastes 8:30. That's verse 12. Ecclesiastes 8. The whole 8th chapter is good. Right. Yeah, and that's the situation with Debo. He came over. What's his dude? He came over there. Was it Reg? Right. Yeah. He came over there, man. Yeah, man. My pops said I'm gonna come to my bike back, man. They said, what bike? The bike I let you on last week. Oh, that bike. Oh, you wanted it back? You over here. Walk, turn around, boom! My bike, punk. Hey, man. Yeah, don't lend to somebody. That's mightier than you, man. What you gonna do? Fight them? Can't beat them. What you got? Might go get a weapon. So give my $20 back, man. You might come back with a knife or a gun. It ain't worth it at the end of the day. Yeah. So don't even lend to them. Yeah. You know what? I ain't got it. I got a bill. Yeah, my phone bill just came in. Tell them something. My rent. Yeah, my rent is due. Gotta tell them something, man. I ain't got it, man. Cause you lend to a nigga in the world, man, he gonna remember, he gonna act like he forgot. He gonna wait for you to bring it back up. Oh shit, yeah, damn, I ain't got it, man, right now.
It's about the love of many shall wax cold. That brotherly love, that shit can get you killed, man. You feel me? So now it's like you gotta apply this too. The whole role. You gotta pay attention to the prophecy, but you gotta also know, like, I keep dealing with certain men, man.
Right.
Walk with the wives. You keep dealing with men that's bugged out because there's no telling what spirits is on them. Like you said, it's like a city without gates. The demons is on that. They feast on that. Now we gonna jump on them. Now this nigga's bugged out. Right. He don't got no regard for nothing. Like you said, he don't regard blood. It's another nigga dead.
He got no God. He got no rule of his spirit.
Yeah, we can all like bring out stories of having grass.
Right.
Like I know one dude in school, he was just a reckless motherfucker, man. And I told my boy, I said, yo, outside, I said, this nigga gonna die. And then a few weeks later, he got riddled. Right from the PJs. He got riddled, man. I already know what happened. I know what happened. This dumb the wrong person. They came back. They put him down.
And that's usually the outcome of all of them so-called tough guys.
Right.
You're gonna meet your match. The Lord gonna have it to it. All these demons gonna have you meet your match. Niggas always wanna see who's tougher. Blow you away. That's what I said. It's like a lot of things, like being emotional. These men are emotional. Don't let nobody see. Like, you feel me? He might have been able to walk away, but the fact that somebody else saw you and him having a conversation or altercation, now he got to prove himself. You feel me? It would have went nowhere, but now the fact that niggas saw it, now it's up.
This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
Right. That's twofold, because that goes into the adversary. That goes into Esau. You might get pulled over or something like that. Brothers like to use that example, which is smart because what would you Jake when they get pulled over? They want to start talking about the rights that they got and this, that, and the third, and pull out their camera phones and all this shit. When at the end of the day, that's not going to stop them from blowing you away or from locking you up. And now you're going to go through this whole situation. And then what? It comes out of what? It comes out of your pocket at the end of the day. Now you're paying this fine, you paid this lawyer, you missed work, your job's not hearing it, you're fired.
And the worst part is, he's probably going to give you some warning, right?
Right.
You got finessed him, yo. They all say you're doing a great job today. All right, he might give you a warning. Yeah, have a nice day, sir. Right. He might have made his day just now. Right. That's why you saying so fast turns to rap.
Right.
I got 50 Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. My son, forget not my law. Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
Right. Don't forget the law, man. And that goes into like your heart, which is your mind. You know, keep the commandments, but also don't forget the law. You always got to be meditating. The scriptures speak about meditating on the law, having a delight in the law. When your mind is on this, naturally you always want to think of a spiritual way to handle anything. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that comes your way, the first thing you're thinking is spiritual. Like that Satan tested, or this the Lord. I mean, throwing me a little test. How do I pass this? How can I handle this? And then you know in the beginning, you might fuck up because you just knew. But as the thing is that when you get age, you get more wisdom. Get better at this thing, man. You know how to handle situations to the point where you just walk away. They don't even affect you the same no more.
It says, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
Yeah, right. But we just spoke about, you feel me, not falling into a man's folly because you with him. Like, you using these scriptures, being smart, that'll prolong your days. You'll be around a little bit longer as opposed to always being an emotional cat that just always jumping straight, thinking cardinal or not thinking fit at all. You know what I'm saying? When you use wisdom, you'll last long in this game and you'll endure to the end.
That's it. Oh man.
Right.
This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
Right, yeah. So you gotta be diligent, but you gotta be sober-minded. You can't be bugged out, man. You know, of course you can't be caught up in all these other philosophies. You can't be a drunkard, but you gotta be on point, man, because Satan is going to use whatever to jump at you, man. He's going to devour whoever he can. So if you're an emotional cat that can't rule over your spirit, he's going to use that to his advantage to get you to go over. You know what I'm saying? Anything, any weakness you got, he's going to try to use it to his advantage, man. You got to understand that the demons are looking to devour. You feel me? That's going to come. You know, every obstacle you go through, every encounter you have, know that it's a demon that might be trying to, make this go in his favor. You got to be paying attention. It's a battle. It's a constant battle.
Add on to it. And also too, you gotta be sober and vigilant. You gotta pay more attention, man, to what's going on, around you. Even in the world. You gotta pay attention to the prophecies because the so-called white man who's the devil, alright, he's trying to basically destroy you, man. Alright? I just did a research the other day, or the matter of fact today, that's why you gotta get into like the health and things of that nature, pray over your food because I just found out that, Kraft, Pepsi, and Nestle, they use aborted fetus cells to make the natural flavoring, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you have to pay attention, man, to what you eat. Okay? Because the devil always trying to constantly, he's trying to push that New World Order, man. He wants the population to be what? At 500 million, man. Alright, so he's constantly putting chemtrails in the air. Alright, that's why he's trying to make you take his medications. Okay? He's putting GMOs in the food. Alright? He's tampering the nutrients of the fruits. Even the coconut waters, man. Just everything. You have to pay attention, man. Alright? Because the so-called white man, he likes to, make our people complacent, man, comfortable. So they won't even be paying attention to what's really going on.
I got two for you. You just said that. The first one is Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. Now we know, that iniquity, that's overall. You feel me? Like, that's against the laws. These people eating those damn fetuses. They throwing that shit up in the pen. They hiding it. Natural flavoring. It's up to you to to go deeper to find out what that is. Off that, you would think it's just, you know what I mean? You would think it's not, it ain't that deep, but it is that deep, man. Because it says, because it's in the power of their hands. So this man got all day and all night to just think of new ways to get Jake to ultimately go the fuck off. Anyway, that's why when you go into Psalms, I believe it's the 2nd chapter, they speak about them, like, they basically trying to find a way for Jake to go off. That's what this whole, the confederacies and all of that. Yeah. They just trying to make you go off, man. They just think of new ways, man, to get you to go off, man. That's it.
It's Revelation 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Yeah. And the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which is Esau. Okay? He's the accuser of our brethren, which he so the accuser of our brethren is cast down. That's Esau being cast down, because he accused us to the Most High when he do these things secretly. He do these things to get us to go off without us knowing, so he can accuse us to the Most High. And that's why he's known as Satan. The word Satan means the devil. He's the devil. The word devil means slander. Him being the devil, he slandered our name by causing us to go off, so he could slander us to the Most High. Look at the Most High, they're wicked, they're going off. But you're the one that's doing these things. But with that, we're going to close up and say,
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rakakadash.
We're going to say, Shalom.